It worked this time!
Yes.
Hello! And we are live and welcoming today Alwyn from Kilometro 1 to the sound live! Hello, Alwyn. Why don't you tell me what you guys have been up to over at Kilometro 1?
Yes. Thanks, Matt, for having me this time in your program. Yes. Well, about our KM1 project, I just need to say that we are recording our fourth album studio, and we have recorded 7 songs. So we hope to finish to record everything until February 2022, and obviously our album will be released, I hope, between March or April 2022. So yeah, this is our fourth rock album. Yeah.
Awesome!
Cool.
That's really cool, man. And
Yeah.
we
Thanks.
talked briefly just a minute ago about your Highland song. I said that of all the songs on your last album, that was the one that I really liked the most, and I liked the vibe of that. And you said you guys collaborated with some people using some authentic instruments. Why don't you just talk a little bit about that?
Yes, for sure. Well, just I was thinking if I was writing a lyric about Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the most impressive thing is to invite some music from Scotland. And I signed up in some groups of Facebook with musicians from Scotland, and I asked them if they want to join us, and they say yes, for sure. So we had the collaboration of 3 guitar players, and yes, and a one bagpiper. So that's really amazing just to have the real sound of the bagpipes, the native musician from Scotland making a guitar solos for our song called Highlands, because this is about the story of Scotland. So yeah, that's really amazing to have these people doing it with us. Even because we are Mexican, so to tell a story about another country is important to share with the people from that country. In this case, Scotland. So, yeah. So
Right on.
for our fourth album, we are expecting to invite people from Asia, Japan, and Egypt.
Neat. That's really cool. Hey
Yeah.
man, if you need a little bit of saxophone, you can get a little bit of Portland in there too.
Okay, yes, for sure. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Matt. I know I can count on you. Yes.
Right on. And also today with me, I have Kyle Walz. Kyle's a singer and
Hey.
songwriter. You've been doing some performing recently. Why don't you tell me what you're up to?
Yeah. Yesterday I got to play on a live stream out of New York. So in Upper Manhattan, one of the closest bookstores to the Bronx, and I actually got to play there in person a couple years ago. And when I was there, they said that all the bookstores in the Bronx have closed. And so anybody in the Bronx that doesn't want to go to the library or something needs to come there. And it's cool because it's a community run kind of art space. So it's like all the people living around contribute to rent, um, give time to work there, and you can, go there and buy books, or you can bring books and things there and negotiate, some sort of trades and stuff. It's called Word Up. So that was a lot of fun yesterday. There were people from all over the globe, maybe about a dozen of us that played some songs. That was really cool.
Nice. Not, oh man, I miss playing out. I was just
Yeah.
talking to somebody on Facebook. I think I'm gonna go do like I don't know, it's an open mic or singer songwriter night or something on Thursday, locally. I'm excited about that. So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was cool. I said happy birthday to the guy, and then he was like, "Hey man, what you been up to?" And I was like, "Hey, I'd like to jam with you." He's like, "Hey, come by Thursday." I was, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm really excited for the show today, guys. We have got a really cool lineup. It's a little bit different than some of the lineups that we've done. We're going to be going all around the world today, and the first place that I'd like to stop off. This has been a very popular fan request. A lot of fans, especially of the young Diana, from Moscow. A lot of her fans have requested that I react to Dimash, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. And so this is supposedly a really incredible young male singer. and that's really all the information that I have. This will be my first time reacting to and hearing Dimash. Has any of you guys listened to or reacted to Dimash from Kazakhstan before?
No, I think it is going to be my first time too.
Now, I'm not going to attempt to say this gentleman's last name, okay? I'm just going to say Dimash because that'll be far less embarrassing to me. I think the comment section will appreciate it in the end, and my video will have a lot less controversy if I don't attempt to say this gentleman's last name, because I have no clue, and I just admit it, okay? So you guys beat me from the start. I'm not even going to try on this one. Okay, so you guys are all set to go, right?
Yep.
All right. So, without further ado, musicians panel. Don't forget, everybody, we're going to mute our microphones. Without further ado, musicians panel reacts to Dimash SOS live performance. All right. Oh, I got to move this right over to the side of the screen here. All right. Here we go.
Обладатель Гран-при международного конкурса исполнителей эстрадной песни «Витебск-2015» Димаш Кудайберген, Казахстан.
That's how you say it.
Pourquoi je ris, pourquoi je pleure? Voici le SOS d'un rien en détresse. J'ai mûri hier sur toi. Je me prendrai poison. Je te jure qu'au fond de la vie, avec les bonnes décennies, j'ai comme deux envies, tu me t'avances, je sens quelque chose qui m'attire, voler. Pourquoi je vis, pourquoi je meurs, pourquoi je ris, pourquoi je pleure. J'y crois comme elle était notre monde.
Димаш Кудайберген, Казахстан.
Wow.
Yeah.
И
Wow.
море
Thank you.
поклонников
Wow.
блестящего артиста на славянском базаре. Браво!
Okay, there's a lot more of that. We're not going to let it go for another minute and a half. Wow. Holy mackerel. I was not expecting that. I heard like a dozen different distinct voices. Sometimes I heard in one arpeggio I heard 3 or 4 distinct different tones. The deep masculine tone going up into the feminine tone, going up into the head tone, going up into the whistle tone. He was doing freaking Mariah Carey crap almost. I mean, holy Jesus. I don't want to swear, guys. I don't, but I feel like there's swear words that need to come out of me right now. It's like, should I even call myself a singer after hearing that dude? I mean, that's like totally next level stuff, man. I got a tear coming out of my eye right now, man. It's nuts. Wow. What'd you think, Kyle?
It reminded me of back in the MySpace days. There was a Russian singer, and
Uh-oh. You're freezing.
Kyle is freezing.
Oh, man. Kyle's frigid today. He's cutting in and out, coming in and out. All right. Well, we'll just have to wait for Kyle here. Why don't you go ahead and talk about what you thought, Alwyn, and circumstances. Go ahead.
Wow. Well, first of all, I think his voice must have like at least five tones of vocal range. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
5 octaves. Yeah.
yes, yeah, that's one. At least 5 as minimum, or maybe more, but at least he must have 5 octaves. So what I get most impressed is when he was singing like with a very deep voice, you know, very normal, like yes, a deep voice like this one, and suddenly, boom, comes to the high one. So the highest voice in a male I have heard, for sure. I don't know if we compare him with Freddie Mercury. I don't know if Freddie was able to do that. I'm not quite sure to get that high, but yeah, this one, what was his name? Dimash. Yeah, for sure, a very high vocal range. Yes, very good one. Yeah,
And just the beauty of execution, the tone quality, the control, and his belting was just phenomenal. Okay, Kyle, what do you have to say about this guy?
okay, hold on, my computer's still.
Okay.
There we go. Okay,
No
make sure I
problem,
didn't click the wrong thing there. Yeah, the thinking like you mentioned Freddie Mercury, all right, when my internet got back, and I was thinking it might be one of those technical things. I wonder, and Matthews, you tend to know a lot more about this than I do sometimes. What in Freddie's time, like when he was learning to sing, like in the 60s, early 70s, and whatnot. I guess it'd be more 60s for Freddie. Mm-hmm. What was that whistle tone like going up in that register? Because I was thinking of the classic recordings. Was it Ella Fitzgerald singing and breaking the glass? Mm-hmm. Of course, you have it amplified, but to hit that resonant tone of a crystalline structure to make it, shatter. You have that classic image in your mind. I forget which tape, cassette tape commercial that was back in the day. But, as we continue to progress and push, different technique and stuff, I don't know, was that whistle technique around in Freddie's time?
I mean, I would like to say that if people were bored enough, stuff has existed forever. Especially when it comes to like voices, I mean, and like I've heard so many people do so many amazing things with their voice, and it's like I have my bar set freaking high, dude. I mean, I'm not I'm not gonna freaking lie. Like remember we watched a couple of the videos, and I was like, yeah, you know, that those vocals were pretty good, you know, but like there's this bar, you know, that's being set with these vocalists that we've been listening to, you know, like for example, you know, Dimash and Diana, they're you know, newer to us, but you know, we grew up with these amazing vocalists, you know, and it's like I think the techniques have always been around. Everybody's been borrowing from each other, and you know, like I mean, I don't know about always, but you know,
I was thinking more like okay, like whenever I teach guitar, like if I was teaching guitar in the 60s, fret tapping and maybe in classical tap harmonics, I wouldn't do fret tapping in the 60s because I could have creatively figured it out, but it wasn't really part of the of what you study when you do it, you know, and that's why I was thinking of, you know, because of course, you know, we could like growling in metal, you know, I mean, people have been growling forever. I always think of, well, I don't know, there's a historical thing I think of that's probably too nerdy for us, but I'm always fascinated. It seems that people that grow up speaking different languages have a propensity to utilize these techniques more, you know, and things like that always fascinate me. I think stuff like that is just so cool to think about and you know, get into. So
just the beauty at the beginning, I can't say enough about at the very start of that song when he was in this breathy, thin, it was like a silver thread, his voice at the beginning. And it was so breathy, and it was so beautiful.
Dude, you need a hug.
It hugged me.
Yeah.
It did, you know. And then to see him go from, you know, that all the way up to like, you know, triumphant opera.
Yeah, Celine Dion level stuff. The power.
And the belting. The belting rivaled any man I've heard in musical theater. I mean, like, and I've heard some really good ones. And, you know, like, and then that whistle tone stuff. I mean, just this, like when I said Diana, sort of transcended gender.
Yeah.
In a way, Dimash also transcends gender too. I love it. It's so amazing. You know, the balance, the fullness of the performance. It had everything in one song. I mean, I guess I didn't hear screaming or growling, but like in a classical / opera / musical theater / world, it was like all the different male vocals were all encapsulated in that one song. I mean, it was gorgeous.
Yes, I have two things to say. The first one is that he is singing in French. Okay. And French language is not the main language from Kazakhstan. I'm checking a little here in Wikipedia. Kazakhstan has their own language, so I don't know why he's singing in French, but well, he does perfect. And the second thing I wanted to say is that if you take a look in his face, he doesn't do any extra effort to get the high notes. Yeah. It just comes out natural.
Yeah.
If you see his face, it's like completely natural.
Relaxed.
No, yes, relaxed. No, doesn't need any extra effort, any extra concentration, nothing. Just as natural. It comes natural, and wow, completely worked. I know he's like to his early 30s, no, approximately. And yes, he has a very good technique. He doesn't have to make any effort here on the veins or the throat, nothing. Just wow, natural and great.
Yeah,
thank you for the subscriber.
Yeah, I was noticing when he was holding his microphone that a couple of times when he was belting, he hits those high notes, and he had the microphone way up out of the arc of air, which was kind of cool. And then he brought it up right to his lip. And I found that it was kind of interesting, in a staged environment like that, to have that level of compression, because that was, and I was curious to if his voice was really that much louder when he had his microphone up at an arc versus at his lip, but to go along with what Owen was saying, that it was so effortless. And that's why I always think about the kind of natural abilities that go along with different languages, because French is a very nasal head voice language. And that's what made it so good for opera. And in addition to Italian was the same way. And Italian was even better because you could rhyme so easily as well.
Definitely. English is not the best language for vowels and rhyming.
No.
Definitely not. That's the language that I was born into, and unfortunately, I studied the universal language of music, but I didn't really spend much time. I didn't even know what language that is. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm not a linguistics expert by any means, but just I am a performance expert, and I'm telling you, I mean, I couldn't find anything.
Yeah,
and I'm being for real.
And he's moving around too. And that's always hard.
Anything about that was not flawless. I mean, like I said, it makes me question if I should even call myself a singer. It's like, maybe I need to go back to school, I mean, come on, dude. Like, if that's where the bar's set these days, I ain't there yet. Holy crap.
Oh, dude, just go back to the blues. Everyone likes a soulful singer,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I could compete the blues with a lot of white guys. But
yeah.
But you don't want to compare. You don't want to compare me to other. Oh no, whatever. All right, guys, this is so much fun. Before we move on to our next reaction, we're going to need to do the Zoom Room Roulette. And you guys know what that is. Let me just remind you all, when we're going to end the meeting for 2 seconds. I'm going to restart it. Just come back in the same link, the same way you came. And then we'll continue the show. Everybody watching, this is just going to be like a 2-second delay. And we'll be right back. This is crucial, and we got to do it. So, let's do it. Ready, go. Hello there. I'm back. Hello there. I'll do my Obi-Wan. I have the high ground, Anakin. So they'll be back in just a second here. And we're going to continue. Oh, Kyle's back right away. Quick. Let me get a drink here. Some water. And here we go. Alwyn's back from Kilometer 1. Excellent. You guys are back quick.
All right.
Connecting audio. Hi-ho, the Dario. We're connecting audio. All right, everybody. So, we're going to go ahead and do Kyle's pick next. So while I'm going ahead and sending everything over, thank you for the subscriber, by the way. While I'm going ahead and sending everything over, Kyle, why don't you introduce what we're going to be reacting to next?
Sure. This is Josephine Alexandra, and she is a fingerstyle player from Indonesia. And after reacting to a leap a few times, you start to get some really awesome suggestions like Fayasan, Josephine Alexandra, of these Indonesian guitar players that play with their fingers and, just approach the instrument with so much love. And it's cool to see how a leap, gets influenced by Asan and gets influenced by Alexandra. It's kind of like, their community, and we get to view into that online, which is really fun. So this is her cover of the famous pop song Dance Monkey.
Yeah, we all remember that from not that long ago.
Yeah.
That was really big last year, I think, and maybe even the end of 2019.
Yeah.
That was a 2020 release, wasn't it? Either
Somewhere,
way.
I want to say right before the world made us sit at home for a while.
Yeah, and it's like everybody on YouTube did a cover of it but me, because I was
Same.
just starting to get early into YouTube. I wasn't even uploading daily at that point yet. And but I know the tune. Yeah, it's a good song. Cool, man. Well, I have not had a chance to listen to Josephine yet, so I am extremely excited to do this. I lose you, Kyle?
No, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, so yeah, this is my first time ever reacting to Josephine Alexandra. How about you, Alwyn? Have you heard her before?
No, this is going to be my first time too with this one, Josephine. Yes, so go ahead. Let's see what we have now.
Have anything more you want to say, Kyle, before we get this one on the screen?
Oh, I'm curious to see how you two. Alwyn, do you know Alip? Have you seen him play before, Alip Ata?
Yes. Last time I was here with Matt.
Okay.
We saw Alip. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, so it's interesting to see how she is very different than Alip. So I'm curious to see both your reactions to that aspect. So this will be fun.
Let's do that.
All right, everybody, get your microphones ready. Without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Josephine Alexandra's fingerstyle guitar cover of the Tones and Eyes Dance Monkey. Here we go.
Super dang.
Dang! Dang, dang, dang! Dang, 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 dang! Oh man, that girl freaking plays awesome. That was she didn't even have any fingers, and she was doing that bass drum thing like what with the heel of her hand or something.
Yeah.
Wow! And then she had the finger picks on, so she just sounded so bright. Like, you know, like one of the things I like about Alip's playing is that it's so mellow. But like Josephine in that song, she just had so much energy.
Oh yeah.
It was just pushing the limits, man. And then go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, man, she is so great at building out that energy. And this time I guess I was so enthralled with her playing kind of like you are now the first time or two I heard her. I didn't notice she's using a Yamaha guitar, and it has like a hybrid system. So it has a piezo pickup, and it also has a microphone for fingerstyle players, which is really cool. So, but man, her level of energy is so high. It is so much fun. We were both dancing.
Yeah, I mean, I I said the bar is really, really high. The bar is really, 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 really high, and somehow we just keep raising it even more and even more and even more. Yeah. It's so wonderful. Oh my God, Alwyn, what do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that she has a very soft and beautiful technique, extremely precise on her touch. Wow. You can see her fingers like a flying butterfly across the guitar. Just wonderful, beautiful, amazing, soft and sweet and pretty technique. Yeah, nothing more to say.
Yeah, I'm anxious for more. Wow.
I don't know if Josephine and Alip Bata know each other. Maybe they could do something together. Will be nice, huh?
You know, one thing that Alip Bata has exposed to me is that Indonesia has an incredible amount of musical talent. Like, I had no idea. And I mean, I'm sure every country has an incredible amount of musical talent because there's so much undiscovered. But like, Indonesia is like really like paying a lot of more attention, I think, than America or maybe even Mexico. I don't know about Mexico, but at least for the United States, it's like, you know, when you're an artist, it's like you're there to be exploited, you know, and the energy I'm feeling from Alip and, you know, Josephine Alexandra and Isyana Sarasvati and was the other one? There was a rock band I reacted to that I really liked too. I don't want to say it wrong. They, you know, everybody that people have been recommending has been so good. Even the little girl, Daisy Nafisa. I'll have to show you her sometime, man. She's the little Lipata. She was like 9 in this video playing Canon in D. It was crazy. Really good. So Kyle's bouncing in and out. Kyle's like the basketball today. He's like, we're shooting hoops. He's in.
It's like in. You guys throw it over the fence, and I guess all right, guys, I'll go get it, and then I come back a minute later.
It's all good, man. We've all had internet problems. Definitely. Okay. Well, this is just so much fun. I think, like I said, the contrast between their styles was so good. But, I mean, that was the coolest Dance Monkey I've heard. And I've heard at least 100 of them. That was the coolest one I've heard. And I mean, I'm not saying I didn't like the song. I liked it fine. You know, it was sort of a meme. So, you know, maybe I got a little bit sick of it. But, dude, her performance of that was it activated my cheesing energy. Like... How wide can I open my mouth, right? That's what happened. It's like making me like test. Can I open it any wider?
I know it made me do the side glance kind of head nods. Like it's like I look at, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm on camera.
Oh, I mean, you know, like it's one thing like sometimes, and you know, being a reactor, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes you have to kind of ham it up just a little bit so you have a thumbnail, right? But, like, dude, that was not at all hammed up. Like, that was 100%, like, genuine. I was just vibing, like, so hard with that.
Yeah. It's so awesome to me, like, somebody on solo acoustic guitar like that, having that ability to bring that much energy. It's like, yeah, you can play a song and make people kind of sway or slow dance or something to make people want to jump up and party dance, though. That's a whole different level of playing acoustic,
Absolutely.
That's fun stuff. And maybe saying a different level isn't fair. It's a whole different category, because everybody has their own way of playing. That's cool. That's fair, I guess.
What else do you think about that, Owen? You have any more comments about this one?
What can I say if everything has been said?
Oh, okay.
We're reading your mind.
You're reading my mind. Don't do that.
You're good. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and get ready for the next one. And the next one's my pick. And it's a little bit of a departure from the normal thing that I do on the sound. Normally we do music reactions pretty strictly, but I've also done a lot of like panels and things with people where we talk about music business and copyright and YouTube policy with regard to music, and all of these things are really really crucial to today's music. And so the video I'm sending here for you guys, if possible, I don't want to do the whole video. And I know this is a little bit complicated, but what I want you guys to do is when we start, I want you to move it ahead to about a minute or a minute and 5 seconds. Just because at the beginning, he does ads for himself and all this, and it's great. And I'm gonna I'll put a link, so you can go to Rick Beato's page and support him and get his products. I highly recommend him. He's a great musician, music teacher, producer, and this guy's got over 2 million subscribers. So I subscribe to him, and I don't always agree with everything he says because he's a little bit more old school than me, but he's got it on point in this rant here. And so,
okay, but I'm gonna say this. Remember what you just said. The first minute or so, he's talking about his own things. So anyway, well, I'm curious to see because I told you earlier that I saw this, but didn't get a chance to watch it. This is one I was going to check out this just to see because I probably have a whole different take on this than you guys do.
Well, yeah, it's cool. It's cool, and
oh, yeah.
we're gonna talk about it. But so fast forward to, if you can, I'm at 1 minute and 5 seconds. If you can't get to exactly there, just get as close as you can. Like up to like maybe 1 minute to 1 minute 5. We'll mute our microphones. We're gonna play about 10 minutes or so. I'll let you guys know about when we're gonna be done, but we're not gonna play the entire video because it's 20 minutes, and I don't want to go on for quite that long. You guys have any questions about this before we start? I'll just let Rick say what's up because rather than me try to like say it and then him say it again. You guys all ready for this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so without further ado, you guys mute up, and Musicians Panel reacts to Rick Beato, music teacher on YouTube. I finally claimed fair use on a video, rejected rant excerpt. Okay, here we go.
If you look at this, it's got 514,000. I just took the screenshot views, and you can see on the whiteboard behind me that I have music theory. I'm talking about this Radiohead song called Just, which is one of a number of songs I was talking about related to how melodies and chord changes work together. I was talking about the lack of complexity in contemporary songs, which causes all these copyright disputes, like with the new Jonas Brothers song that I said that people had said it sounded like 5 different songs. Okay, somebody's actually done a mashup on Facebook that one of my friends sent me that has 7 songs mashup with the Jonas Brothers. Okay, so I start demonstrating different songs' chord progressions. I played, let me put me back on here, turn this off. I played, obviously, Just by Radiohead, that's off the bends. I played Fantasy by Earth, Wind & Fire. I played Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Keep the Door Open by Bruno Mars. Angie by the Rolling Stones. I'm demonstrating chords with high complexity chord progressions. And then Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You which is actually by Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and a third writer, Jane. I should have. Well, I'll look it up actually. Or I'm sure you guys can look it up. Writer from the '60s that they borrowed the something from. Okay, but she's listed on the credits. So immediately after the live stream, I got this. Let's see here. This is a video dispute here. It says copyright summary and status. Says content manually identified by the claimant. If you look under the video, it says that. So that means somebody at Warner Chappell Publishing claimed this. I said, what song is it? Because it doesn't, it says, there it is. Babe, I'm going to leave you, Video Songs Master. Here's what was claimed. So now I'm going to play this again. It's going to demonetize this video. But it's important to do this. Okay, select action. You can trim out the section, all this kind of stuff, right? It says revenue sharing. Okay, so, well, you know what? I'm not going to play it. I'll tell you why I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it because screw them. So the deal is this, that they demonetized my video for me playing the chords and not singing the melody, not doing a cover of Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, nothing like that. Now, I've never claimed fair use, and I get a lot of grief from people about this. Rick, you should claim fair use on these things, okay? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna claim fair use. The video was not about Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. It had nothing to do with Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. I didn't sing the melody to Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. I simply picked through the chords. And that was one of a number of songs that I played the chord progressions to. Now, I'm not saying that songs that have 3 chords can't be great songs. I'm just saying that the reason these copyright things happen is because they keep using the same chord progressions over, and there's only a limited number of notes that work. So if you have a more complicated chord progression, you can write songs that have different kind of melodies because there's going to be some chromatic notes in them. It's just going to happen. Songs like Comfortably Numb, which changes keys, right, in the chorus. Okay. So here's my letter, my dispute that I disputed, and says, this is a music theory video where I'm playing songs to demonstrate harmonic complexity in songwriting. The use of Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You is one of a number of examples I played on my acoustic guitar to highlight its use of a high complexity chord sequence. This is obviously an example of fair use. I'm not covering the song, but simply playing the chord progression. I have never claimed fair use on any of my 800 plus videos, but this is such an outrageous abuse of the fair use statute, I must draw the line. It is clearly a teaching/opinion video that in no way infringes on the author's rights. Okay? So what they do when you claim fair use is they put the money in escrow. Now, I knew this, I just never do it. They put the money in escrow until the decision's made. This has nothing to do with YouTube. It's between me and Warner Chappell Publishing. They're the ones that actually decide on this. But they are Led Zeppelin's publisher of this song. Okay, so they're deciding for Led Zeppelin. Now, Led Zeppelin doesn't know anything about this unless Jimmy Page watches my channel. Then maybe he would. But he probably wouldn't have even paid attention to my video on boring chord progressions or boring songs. Anyways, so then I got this back from them 2 days later. The following claim in this video, why today's music is so boring, the regression of musical innovation has been disputed. Okay, well, that was my dispute thing. Then I got this. Hi, Rick Beato. After reviewing your dispute, Warner Chappell has decided their copyright claim is still valid. Why today's music is so boring. Okay, so they rejected my claim. So this is ridiculous. Now, the video is obviously not about Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. I play the chord progression, picking through A minor, C over G, D9 over F sharp, F major, E7 to demonstrate a high complexity chord progression. The reason that I've not claimed fair use is because this is what's going to happen. I didn't go on Twitter. I didn't say anything. I didn't try and, do anything. I said, okay, let's go by the way that people do this. Okay, let's see what happens. And you know what happened? Somebody in the content ID department at Warner Chappell that manually claimed it said, no, we don't care. Led Zeppelin's going to get the money from your video. When they say it's revenue sharing, they're not. It's never clear, because the money from a 500,000 view video is about $500. Okay, that's it. So theoretically, the part of it goes to YouTube, part of it goes to Led Zeppelin or Warner Chappell, Led Zeppelin's publisher, which eventually trickles to Led Zeppelin. Then part of the money goes to the video maker, theoretically. Now, it doesn't show any money as of yet. And that's not the point of this. The point of this is not the money. The point of this is that it's outrageous that Warner Chappell Publishing is nickel and diming a video that's obviously about, that has nothing to do with their song. And they're the only person. Did Soundgarden, did Chris Cornell's people come after me for playing the intro of Black Hole Sun? Did anyone from Earth, Wind, and Fire come after me for using the chord progression of Fantasy? Did the people from Bruno Mars's camp try and demonetize my video for playing Keep the Door Open? Did the Rolling Stones come after me for using the chord progression to Angie? No. Warner Chappell did, because they thought they could get away with it. And you know what? So far, they have gotten away with it. In the past, I've gone to Twitter. I did this with Norwegian Wood. I made a video called the Mixolydian Mode, and I played the chord progression to Norwegian Wood as an example of the use of the Mixolydian Mode, along with other things. I just played the chords, the guitar thing, right? That's it, on acoustic guitar. I didn't sing it. Just like I didn't sing Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. I never sang the melody of either song. And the Beatles immediately demonetized the video. They did a copyright claim on it. So I went on Twitter and I posted the copyright claim and I made a video. They got about 1 million views or so. And the next day, or it got 500,000 views in one day. And the next day they removed it. I didn't dispute it. I didn't do anything but make a video about it, like I'm making this video today. And they took it away without me disputing it. Because had I disputed it, unfortunately, the publishers don't care. Because the only two people that make a decision, well, there's 3 people involved. It's not YouTube. The publisher or whoever owns a sound recording. So it could be Atlantic Records or Jimmy Page or whoever owns a sound recording to Led Zeppelin, for example, or Norwegian Wood. Capitol Records owns a sound recording to Norwegian Wood. Okay, so they own that record. It's on Capitol Records. And their publisher, I forget who was the publishing company. So I'm disputing with them. That happened to be a publishing company dispute again. So either the publisher or the owner of the sound recording, and obviously the owner of the sound recording is not going to dispute it because I'm not playing the sound recording like I do when I do What Makes This Song Great, and the videos get demonetized. Of course they do get demonetized, like they should. Granted, people say I should claim fair use on those videos. When I did, I'm just glad to be able to do it. When I did Comfortably Numb, it got demonetized. It has not gotten blocked. Pink Floyd makes the money from the video. I don't make anything from the video, but that's fine. Because I want to be able to, this is the whole point of this, is to come on here and teach people things about music.
I apologize. I paused it right in the middle. The whole point of this is to come on here and teach people about music. That's as far as we need to go with that. He starts to kind of go back over the same material for the most part. All the really important details are there. So, dude, we're talking about he's just playing the chords and the copyright claiming him. That is like absolutely and completely and totally against copyright law, but it doesn't matter because the government's not involved. Yeah. The accuser is the judge. the accuser is the judge and jury, and they get to freaking decide, and there's really nothing you can do other than sue them.
Can I come over to your house, take a plane to Portland, and just grab some money out of your wallet? And go buy
I'll
myself
buy you a
some
beer.
dinner.
I mean, if you come to
that's
visit,
cool,
I'll buy you
can
dinner.
Can I just come over and take money out of your wallet and then go buy myself dinner?
Where are you going with this, brother?
Okay, Beato, and it seems like his rant is more his shtick than teaching. If you look at his video, like this particular stream, he has like an automatic little post in the chat about what he has on sale. On the video in question, he has and during the chat of this live stream where he's teaching, people are paying him. He has a Patreon that he gets paid from. Now that's where it starts to cross a different line. And this is something like my background in teaching, whenever I put, a book on a copier, make a copy for my students, that's technically breaking copyright. Now, of course, we could argue some fair use and stuff, but where that's a little different is it's a private audience. And that's why restaurants and things, if you're playing music venues, they have to pay licensing fees to share stuff with the public. The songs that we played on here today, we just gave a free copy of that to anybody in the world that wants to listen to it, as long as they have the means. And that's a little different than if we're sitting in a basement sharing a recording and we're sitting on the couch together having a chat. You know what I'm saying? And that's where fair use gets a little confused whenever you have a platform like YouTube. Everyone wants to blame YouTube and say, well, YouTube is doing this or that. YouTube is stuck in the middle. And that's why I brought up the thing, well, can I just come over and grab money out of your wallet? Because if you own something, you don't want someone coming over and grabbing it to use as they wish, because it's not theirs. Yeah, they can ask permission. And maybe if I said to you, hey, Matthew, can I borrow some money? And like you said, well, I'll buy you a beer. Well, that's cool. But what if I just came over and took it and didn't ask? And that's, even though that's not a perfect metaphor, that's as close as we can get. If we're taking like that Tones and I song, we took their song and we gave it to everybody that's listening.
Well, if you're against what Rick Beato's doing, then you're against what we're doing on the sound.
Well, I'm not saying I'm against it. I don't have as big a problem with people claiming it, though.
Okay, but
I get why they're claiming it.
The reason why I played the video, it's the distinction, crossing the line between Rick Beato. On one hand, he could be playing the sound recording like he does on his show, What Makes This Song Great. And he says, take the money. I'm playing your recording. I expect you to claim it. I expect you to take the revenue from this video. I'm teaching people about what I think makes this song great. And that's what he does. And it is, of course, he plugs his Beato book and everything. But
that's where
there's a lot of good content, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of good content. I watched the Comfortably Numb one. He's like saying the chord changes out loud while they're happening. He like plays like the orchestration that the orchestra did, like without the rest of the band, so you could hear what it sounded like. Like he really put a lot of work into this.
So he can sell.
Yeah,
things. And that's where it's different.
Now,
okay, if I wanted to...
Wait, hold on. I'm not finished. I'm finished. Okay, so that's a no-brainer. Copyright claim, fine. Okay, now there's a cover, right? You do a cover. And then they can, if they want, they can take all the money and demonetize you, or they could offer you revenue sharing, okay? Then there's just playing the chords to a song. Just the chords. You're not singing the song. You're not giving the melody, not the lyrics. You're not playing the even specific picking of the notes of the guitar. You're just freaking strumming the guitar to the chords, and they're giving you a copyright claim? Like they own those chords? Screw that. That's what I'm bringing up.
I get you. That particular song, Babe, I'm going to leave you, though. The way it's arpeggiated, almost in the same way as House of the Rising Sun. I could play an A minor chord, and you'd probably go, oh, House of the Rising Sun, because you know that song based on how I'm playing the chord. Now, when it comes to chord progressions and things, you shouldn't be able to do that. Now, where it becomes a little different is an arpeggio creates a melody out of the chord structure. And that's where you can start to argue, well, is it a melody within a melody? Is it one of the melodies of the song legally? Because an arpeggio could be. Now, us as musicians, we know it's like, that's just a chord structure. That's just a different way of, playing the notes. Instead of hitting them all together, you're staggering them. But someone that owns it can say, well, the way that they're staggered is an identifying mark of the song that's different than other songs with that same chord progression. And I think that's probably why that particular song got marked where some of the other ones didn't. Now, I didn't watch his source video to know how he was playing the other songs. Because, if he was just strumming the chords regular, not like how they're played in a song, then I could see his point a little bit more. And then especially if he wasn't like having people pay him in chat and it was like an advertisement thing, like a sales funnel, because it seems that a lot of people, the copyright holders, they get a little annoyed when people are making money in different ways and using something else. Yeah, I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Like, since he's using his video to promote his merch courses and other stuff, I could see where someone would get a little annoyed, knowing like, oh, hey, he's just using all these songs and getting paid. Just kind of like me as a teacher, it would be wrong for me to tell my students, hey, I got a new album. Hey, I got some merch. Check out this shirt right here. That would not be cool to do in a classroom. But we're watching a video of a guy doing somewhat mostly similar.
Mommy,
so it gets a little.
I need the $30 for Mr. Walz. What, $30? What for? You going on a field trip? Oh, no, his new shirt. Yeah. I need his new shirt.
Yeah, he's got some dope merch. His shirt's fire.
All right, well, okay. That brings me to the second point. Okay, I understand YouTube wants hands off, but you're going to give the publisher / songwriter, whoever is making the claim, the power to be the judge and decide the case? I mean, come on, that's complete horseshit.
But that's
I'm sorry, pardon my French. That's garbage.
Actually, it's German, by the way, but
it's terrible. I mean, come on, dude. Seriously. How can you have the accuser try you?
Okay, if someone broke into my house, wouldn't it be on me to say, hey, get out of my house? You are on my property. You are trespassing.
But it's not up to you to deliver the sentence.
But they're the people that own the content. They're the people that own the property that he is using. So shouldn't it be on them to tell YouTube, hey, YouTube, let this guy know, since you're hosting his ability to share our stuff that he took. Hey, YouTube, and that's why I'm saying YouTube is stuck in the middle, and
YouTube should either decide, or there should be some sort of government thing that decides.
It's not their property. It's not their property.
But you're not going to get me to agree with you on this one, brother.
Okay,
apologize.
So YouTube owns all the stuff that other people are claiming.
No, but
well,
the
that's
point
what
is,
I'm saying.
The point
YouTube gets stuck in the middle.
Think about it, though. Think about it. If somebody accused you just on the street, you never saw them before, of raping their sister, do you want that person to be the person who decides your fate and tries you and gives you your sentence? I mean, come on.
Okay. So let's say that the person on the street that accused you is like YouTube. What if their sister was standing next to them saying, hey, that's the person right there? That's a little different.
Yes.
And that's where YouTube gets stuck in the middle, because someone is right there saying, hey, YouTube, hey, I'm using your system. This person is using our content. Please pass this along so, we can work out this arrangement that we're supposed to have where we get credited, we get paid for people using our content.
Right. But my final point on this message before I move on to the next song is, where does it stop? I mean, like, pretty soon, if you strum G, C, and D, they're going to call it Brown Eyed Girl no matter what. I mean, there's not much more ground for them to take. They've already taken copyright for everything that's ever been done after Mickey Mouse. It'll never be public domain, because Mickey Mouse will never be public domain. The Beatles will never be public domain ever. It don't matter when they died, because Walt's already dead, and they give him forever, because they just keep extending it forever and ever and ever, and that's wrong, right? It's completely and totally wrong, and that's what we were texting about. I think Disney is the root cause of all of this, because Mickey Mouse, because they won't allow Matthew Campbell to open his own Disneyland in Oregon because the characters are copyrighted, and that's literally what this comes down to. When you look at it, nothing will ever be public domain again, and so these companies are going to be claiming the same shit forever.
Well, if it's their stuff, and I get the idea of public domain, that after a while, in estates keeping things going on and on, like Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, all these people that have estates to keep their, I for lack of a better description, probably keep their families, supported by what they did for years to come, I can see that argument of public domain a little bit more in some of the other stuff. But where does it end? I don't know. It's always tough because I had one of my originals claimed. One time I played essentially like an E major chord, but then used my finger to modulate it, so it was like a dominant 7, and then played a minor third. Dun, 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 dun. And apparently that's part of an opening of an Ozark Mountain Daredevil song, which I didn't know. But it's funny, I released that song, had zero issue.
We got to do Zoom Room Roulette again here.
Oh, yeah.
Apologize. Keep going. 2-minute warning.
Oh, yeah. So I was just going to say, I thought that was really funny that, my original was released, but then I played an acoustic one, a version of it on a stream, and it got claimed. It's like, it is silly. A big part of it is, and Beato's on a whole different level than like you and I are, where we're getting like robots that recognize the sonic signature as opposed to someone watching your videos and scrutinizing every few seconds. I mean, that's a little different level of scrutiny, but he kind of
said
thrives
it was a
on
manual claim. Somebody saw it and claimed it.
We get automatic claims. So, he knows people are watching his videos, and he knows when he's doing stuff that's going to give him more content. I love Beato. He's a brilliant dude and, very entertaining, but he's found his niche with this rant about things, because it gets people going.
Well, but he's talking about stuff that's important to me, and that's why I watch. All right, Zoom Room Roulette, guys. Yep. We'll be back, and we'll keep talking in just 1 second. Don't anybody go nowhere. Woohoo! Hello, I'm back. That's right. Had to reopen the Zoom room. That's what happens, because that's what happens. Here we go. Alwyn's back here with us, and it's going to be Alwyn's pick next when we finish talking about this copyright debate here. It's kind of cool that we don't completely agree. It makes it this much more interesting topic of discussion. So me and Kyle have been talking at length here, Alwyn, about this. Let's finish up with you. What do you think about this Rick Beato rant and all this copyright stuff that we're talking about?
Yes, well, in my personal opinion, I know that if we heard some specific guitar intros like "Stairway to Heaven" or like "Stand by Me," you know what the song is since the first moment. Yes, that's automatically yes, you know the song. But I think in that case it was just about teaching purposes. So I think that must be free for everyone. So just imagine, let's take my guitar. Mm-hmm. If you take the guitar, no? Mm-hmm. And you start doing this D minor, okay. So if you are teaching or if you are exposing something, you say, okay, students, this is D minor. Again, this is D minor, and this is G. So you are not doing exactly as the tempo of the song. So it's not, you are not covering the song, you are not versioning the song, just explaining what the chords are. Mm-hmm. So I think that has nothing to do, because in my opinion, teaching purposes must be free. Even if I say, okay, this is the intro of the Stand By Me song, no? And you start doing the same line, bass line or guitar intro. Yes, you are broken the copyright. But in my opinion, that claim was silly. This is stupid.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, the law is something like you have to copy 7 notes in the melody exactly, or 7 words of the lyric exactly, or something. It's very, very specific.
Yeah.
Yes, Matt, but listen to me. Even if you are doing the 7 notes, the 7 chords, one after the other one, like this, following the tempo, yes, you are covering the song. But if you are doing this, C, then you leave some seconds, and then you do G, and then wait for some seconds, and then you do A, and then leave some seconds, and then you do F. So there are equally the 7 notes, the 7 chords, but they are not on time. So you are not breaking anything.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some room for debate on how exactly to the original notation. Let's take it all the way to the freaking notes on the paper. How exact is it, right? And if he played it, 99 to 100% exactly the way Jimmy Page played it, then maybe. But if he's just playing A minor, C, G, D with the F sharp, F, if that's all he's doing, that's complete crap. It really depends, in my opinion, on was he playing the melody guitar? What was he, like the way Alip Ba Ta plays the melody in the chords, right? The way Josephine Alexandra was, we just listened to her. The melody was clearly there in the entire song. There was never one moment that it was absent. That was a cover. She wasn't just playing the chords, right? But what if she did just the bass line and the backup parts, and she didn't play the melody at all? Bum 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 bum, and that's it. She never plays that bum 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 ba da bum.
No.
Right? Mm-hmm. Where do you draw the line?
Well, and since you're talking about melody, I mean, you can have, forget the term, like you could have like a bass melody going along with the main melody.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then if you own that, then you can, it depends on how picky you can get. So if we're talking about like 7 notes, based on what you just did, if that's following those 7 notes of that, and you're as the publisher of the music, if you publish the bass line like that, well, then, by virtue of what you just described, that could be a match for that song. And that's why I said, as musicians, if we're strumming chords, we know that there's different ways to rhythmically play a bass line. It's close, not so close, or whatever, and some of the nuances as a musician versus the nuances of legalese, that creates, the distinction between those seem really vast. But for us, it's hard to really grasp like what is legally similar and not, because we know as musicians we can do stuff. I could probably play a song 10 times, and for people listening, they're like, dude, that was pretty much the same each time, and I know it was radically different each time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, there's a lot of our experience as musicians, and it's really hard for us to separate that in this topic, I always think.
And the final point that I have is, it's just disgusting to me that the accuser gets to decide. Because if it comes down to they make money by making a claim, they have a clear violation of, you know what I'm saying? What's the words I'm looking for? They can't be fair. There needs to be an impartial arbitrator that's not just like deciding, oh, well, screw you, I want the money. Because that's what they're always going to do. Unless you get somebody who wants to get fired on the other end of the computer, and they're like, oh, I have a heart, I'm sorry, okay, we'll release the claim, and then that person gets fired. I mean, this is corporate America we're talking about. They're dog eat dog, and I hate them. I'm just being real. I'm fine with giving them the money when it's within the bounds of the law. They have to prove, I think they should have to have the burden of proof. But the way it's backwards. Now we're guilty until we prove ourselves innocent, and if we try to prove ourselves innocent, there's consequences. We can get strikes, they can get us deleted. It's and the accuser is the judge. That's not fair. YouTube doesn't want to be the judge. Okay, then they should have to hire one that's somehow impartial somehow. I don't know how that's even possible, because if they're hired by YouTube, how are you going to determine they're actually impartial and actually going to give a fair? So I think the only fair, and it wouldn't even be fair, would be for an actual judge in the government to decide. But that's only going to happen if you sue a record company. If you sue a record company, you got to have money, you got to have lawyers, you're going to sue a record company? Are you crazy? People don't have any power. It's all taken from us, and that's what's getting under my skin. That's what I agree with Rick about.
Beato was using the song, right? I mean, he said hey, in this video, here's a song that's an example of this.
Yeah.
But so they get all the money from the whole video because he played 15 seconds of a song in a 20-minute video? That's ridiculous.
His point of the video is to get people to buy his books and stuff. I mean, that's a little different. He's using it to advertise his own things.
Well, I don't dispute that point. I don't dispute that point at all.
Well, then
he is. Sure, of course he is. If I had a book, I'd be advertising mine too, damn it.
Well, I mean, wouldn't we all like to use Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and stuff to make people want to buy our stuff? I mean, that's great advertising if we didn't have to pay for it.
He is a good teacher, and he is knowledgeable about music.
Extremely.
And he's a fairly likable guy. Like I said, I don't agree with everything he says, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad, in today's world, you talk about corporate America, and I always remind people, support indie creators like Matthew, like myself, like Alwyn. There are ways you can support us directly where we don't, like doing reactions. People always think, oh, I hope those ads are going to the person that you're reviewing. You probably get that too, Matthew. It's like, yeah, they do. Thanks for knowing how YouTube works. But, on a less silly sounding note, there are ways that us as independent artists, you can, if you're watching this, you can support us directly. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'll stream your stuff on Spotify. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe 1,000 views, I'll get a couple bucks, or 1,000 streams. But we're living in a world where we can make it on our own, just kind of like what we're trying to do right now. Just trying to get an audience, get a fan base, and hopefully, have some independence under our feet, which is cool. It's cool to have that opportunity.
Yep. And I just hope that, there's some semblance of something left for us to write as songwriters, because the more the copyright these companies encroach, the more songs that they get into their belt, the more that they can do these claims. And a lot of these things are done by bots, but some of them are done manually, like Rick Beato's was manual. You get big enough that, like you said, they're watching him. They're totally watching him. Because they know, hey, this guy's a cash cow for us. He gets videos with 1 million views every month. Okay.
Well, I'm sure. Oh, go ahead, Owen.
Owen.
Yes, because as you said, Kyle. You said, Matthew. They are claiming 15 seconds of a 20 minutes video, right? That's what you said. Okay. So just think
something
about
like
it.
That.
Yeah. Okay. More or less. Just imagine if some new songwriter or some people like the people who are writing books now, like a novel, I don't know, if they use 7 words, not necessarily means to be together, but just 7 words in the same paragraph, and if they compare with the Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare, and magically appears the same 7 words in the whole book, you don't claim that 7 words because they are totally different place. I mean, if I'm playing 7 chords in a song for 5 or 6 minutes, maybe Johann Sebastian Bach can claim me because I am using also the same 7 chords that he used to his own music. So that's unfair. Claim for a tiny part of a huge project. I don't think that it's fair. Just a little for too much.
Yeah. One thing I've been trying to do, and it was probably 15 seconds. It wasn't long enough. It was probably more like 30 or 40 seconds to actually get a claim. I've been trying to, if I'm actually trying to get through the gates with something, like for example, I did a little preview video for my React that came out today. It was a React to Nightwish 7 Days of the Wolves. I made a little preview video and I put it out on YouTube, and the clip of the song was like 7 seconds or something, so it wasn't enough to trigger a copyright claim. So I mean, maybe if Rick could not even play the whole 20 seconds worth, maybe if he played a shorter clip, I don't know, but either way, I'm fine. Like I said, in conclusion, this whole topic, I'm fine with paying copyright claims when I'm doing a cover. I'm fine with paying copyright claims, obviously, if we're reacting to something. Obviously, I want the ad money to go to the artist. I'm trying to support the artist, right? That's the whole goal here. I'm trying to say, hey, here's something that people have suggested to me that I will like, or something that I like, I want to share, or you and Kyle share, right? So that's what it's all about. And so, it's cool like that. So
Yes, sure.
I think there should be a separate judge that arbitrates the situation. I don't think that the accuser should be allowed to determine the fate, because obviously,
But it's their stuff.
but they still shouldn't be allowed to be the judge.
But it's their stuff. I mean, if you came over to my house and took my couch and it was in your house,
They're claiming it's their
I would
stuff,
say-
but they don't even have to prove it.
but Beato said, here's some songs that use these chords, and he's playing those songs.
He's playing the chords from the songs. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's a gray area, and that's why you need to have an arbitrator that's impartial that decides, because it's a gray area.
Yeah.
If it was cut and dry, but this gray area is just gonna, like I'm saying, the frontier of what the corporations can claim is just gonna keep expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding until it's engulfed everything. Right?
Yeah.
That's my conclusion, and that's really my concern, because we've talked about this before and giggled about it. Oh, when they come after you just for playing chords, and here we are. It was just a couple weeks later.
Well, as more music gets online, it's going to be a bigger problem. I was thinking of, I forget who made the video, The Death of Melody and Pop Music, and it has Billie Eilish on the thumbnail. Forget if that's Adam Neely or maybe Beato. But that whole idea that with I guess the depth of music that's available and the way artificial intelligences can analyze all that amount of information, it's going to make sense that maybe melody changes, so then people can do something remotely individual or original. You know what I mean? I don't know. I never thought about melody since we're talking about that.
Okay, Alwyn, why don't you go ahead and shoot me the link for your pick over on the Facebook, and we'll get it ready, and you can introduce it.
Yes. Okay. Well, about my link, I decided to share with you this song because it's a famous Dutch song with English subtitles, so you can read what the lyrics are saying. And
I don't have it yet, just so you know. You gotta
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I want for you and for all the audience is to say and to explain what you think about the lyrics, what you think about the little story that it's being told on the video. Mm-hmm. And well, just to let you know that the original song belongs to a band called Normal back in the 70s. Then, like 10 years ago, the band Heidevolk did a cover version of the first one from the band of the 70s. Mm-hmm. And it took more more power, So most of the people know the song by the cover version, than the original one. But I knew first the original song by Normal, and I then knew the song by Heidevolk. So it's just a little story about the Dutch land, the Dutch people, and what they belong to. Just a little of mythology from the Dutch culture.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay, would you send it to me? I still don't have it yet to send it over to Kyle.
You don't have it?
No, you need to just message me the link on the Facebook Messenger, please.
Okay, give me a second.
Sure. I'm really looking forward to this, man.
Me too. It's always fun to hear something new. That's why I tell people about reactions is usually I'm busy listening to trying to find songs I might cover or just kind of reviewing songs that I do cover when I perform out, and reactions kind of open up a whole new door for music again. I'm like, wow, you mean I can sit and listen to new music and share it with people? And it's been so much fun to do that.
You're on a different Facebook page. You did send it to me, but you were on your a band page or something. Okay. Either way, I got it now.
Cool.
This is exciting. So I don't know how to say this. Okay.
That reminds me when you start when you had your first sound chapters, and you react to Nightwish and you react to the other one, Simona Simons. They are from the Netherlands. So yes, and I asked you to do something in Dutch, but you never did it, so that's my chance, my opportunity to share this with you, and obviously with you, Kyle.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the title actually looks to be Latin, so if you say it like it's Spanish, that's going to be pretty close.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good help. All right, so I'm really excited for this. So without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Heidevolk, Vulgaris Magistralis.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. All right, mute up your microphones, and here we go.
Ik ben vulgaris, magistralis, en ik rij op die molen in de grond. Ik had mijn buitje op een werkende vulkaan. Een dinosaurus nu ik al aan. Naar de natten van mij. Maar die heb ik al heel niet gezien. En alleen in de nacht, in het donker op jacht. Ik ben vulgaris, magistralis, en ik reed op mijn mammoet in de grond. Ik ben vulgaris, magistralis, en op zondag op de mastodon. De malve professor, de hart van mijn gered. Het baum als hij zorgelijk zijn alter gescheurd. Met camera's en lassos maakt ze uit de wind. Maar mijn hol is nooit ontdekt en de mensen niet gezien. Ik ben een boorkampioen, in een visioen. Ik ben vulgaris, magistralis, en ik reed op mijn mammoet in het rond. Ik ben vulgaris, magistralis, en op zondag op de mastodon. feel that it fills me in the whole flow. Als ik kreeg me niet, nee ze kreeg me niet, nee ze kreeg me niet. Ik ben Bulgarisch, magistralisch, en ik reed op in Malmo in het rond. Ik ben Bulgarisch, magistralisch, en op zondag op een mastodont. Ik ben normalisch, archivarisch, en ik bijt op koningen in een ros. Ik ben Bulgarisch, als het waar is, en de broodjes bewerk ik met die knoop.
That was cool.
That's awesome.
I like
How do you
that.
feel now? Do you feel that power? Yeah.
I like the
gonna go-
background vocals a lot. It gave it just such a masculine ooh, ooh. It almost felt like, you know, like a Viking kind of vibe to it, right? And then Spielberg wants him to be in the movie, but you won't get him because I'm just gonna run around and club my women over the head. Whatever, I'm paraphrasing, but that was cool words, man. I liked how they had the lyric translation on the bottom, and like all the cool art was just enough to really keep me enthralled, you know. And you know, I mean, it was just still shots, but it was cool, and it was like really good, and the groove was just nice, and just, you know, kind of sucked me in, and just pulled me along. Yeah. Cool stuff, man.
And what about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I was at first listening to it, I was thinking, you know, the way the music and everything started, I was thinking, oh, this is stuff like Saxon or some 80s bands. And then reading the lyrics, I was thinking of Clutch. But then going back to the 80s, do you guys know the band The Mentors from the 80s? Because they did some stuff like this, probably a little bit more vulgar than these guys, a little less delicate with the lyrics. But yeah, it reminded me of some of the fun metal, you know, that was going around. And that was such a great attitude to have with the story. You know, it was so much fun to get that groove, and it almost had a tiny bit of gore. I was imagining what these guys might look like, well, assuming that they're guys, what the band might look like performing. And there was a lot of stuff, you know, that Viking vibe for sure. So cool.
Don't you feel like a very rude man now?
Oh yes, I'm gonna go. I almost ripped off my shirt and got a sword, started, you know, chopping up the shirt behind me, but that might be going too far. But yeah, man, you get that vibe of just empowering and energy. You're gonna conquer. You're going to face the dinosaurs. You know.
One thing I wanted to point out about the vocals is it was a duet the whole time with the lower voice and the higher voice, right? But one thing that was kind of striking to me, and I mean, okay, I'm not trying to say this is a negative thing at all, because the strange thing about it was that the vocals, those two parts, they weren't all the way synchronized, and yet it sounded great. And like whenever I'm doing my own vocals, say if I did a background vocal with myself, that sounded like two different voices. It didn't sound like the same person. It might have been, I don't know, but it sounded like two different people. But say I was making a harmony with myself and they were like an octave apart or whatever, I would be so much more anal about like lining every syllable up so that it was like exactly at the same time. And it was kind of like baffling to me that like they didn't do that, and yet it sounded great. It was like maybe I'm just like too anal sometimes, because like, does that make sense?
Yeah. There's a Slayer song. I think it's on Seasons of the Abyss, maybe. Where when Araya does the vocal take, the guitar player, I just forgot his name, Kerry King, wrote it. And when Raya did the vocal take, he had the rhythm wrong and he started it too late. And Kerry King was like, no, you're supposed to start it here. And they left both vocal takes in the released version, because some people are like, well, it's not really a delay. And that's what it was. It's like the two interpretations of that. That's kind of cool. Even though that song is way more off than this being. Yeah, that's pretty cool to check out sometime.
Well, because to me, that feels like that would alter the mood of the song.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it depends like how different they were. But
it was like a couple beats.
But did it cross the one? Because like if you start on or before one, that gives you a stable feeling, but if you start after one, that gives an unstable feeling. So it's like if you're still starting late, but you're starting less late, it wouldn't really matter that much. But like if you were starting late and it's like no, you're supposed to start on one or before. Like to me, that's like the hugest discrepancy. To me, I don't think you could leave both takes if that was the case. But like I said, I'm pretty anal about this stuff.
I haven't listened to that song recently to have it fresh in my mind. But it did achieve that effect of for the listener, and it went along with the lyrics of that song where you're just feeling so off kilter, and it just exacerbated that feeling. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that was
song. Cool. Well, I kind of almost said the name close, like it wasn't horrible. Hopefully, the comment section won't blow up with a bunch of dang, you can't pronounce anything, can you? No. Wow, this has just been a great stream today. Slightly bumpy getting off the ground, but once we got it going, it's been really, really great. To everybody in the comments that's been asking about Dimash, yes, Dimash is incredibly popular. I'm finding out, and that was our first react of the stream. And so it's going to come back around in the restream. It'll be out as soon as we close this up, and maybe there's a slight copyright scan or whatever they do before you can watch it again. But then in the future, you'll see that video is going to come out excerpted, but it's going to be a few weeks, okay? Because I've been doing 2 streams a week doing these reacts, and I'm getting further and further behind, which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a great thing. See, hopefully I'll be able to take vacation. You guys won't even know. That's good.
We'll take a month off at the end of the year. We'll have
that'd be great, right? I mean, I would like to do that, and nobody will know because videos will keep popping up daily. I guess I still would have to do the live streams. That's how you would know if I was on vacation, is it wouldn't be the live streams happening. Anyway, this has been a great stream. We got through everything we intended to today, and we've actually gone just a little bit longer than I intended, so we're going to have to start wrapping things up now. But everybody that's been here with me today, first thing I want to do is thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Please, let's get lots of people to see this on the restream. Thank you, Veronique, for subscribing just then. Everybody go ahead and subscribe right like Veronique. She's the perfect, or he, whoever that is the perfect example. Go ahead and mash that subscribe button. Also, you can please check out Kilometro 1, links in the description. Alwan's channel over here. They do great rock music. Alwan plays music and his wife sings, and they're really good. I've been subscribed to them for over a year and enjoying their music. I especially like the Highlands, I think it's called. Check it out. Kilometro 1 Highlands. That's the highest recommended song in my opinion. So thank you, Alwan, for being with me. You're always welcome to be here on The Sound. Hashtag The Sound, everybody. And of course, every Monday we have Kyle Walz, everybody. Kyle's a great singer-songwriter. Check out his album, Blood Candy. You can check him out at kylewalz.com and Kyle Walz on Instagram. That's right. Make sure you subscribe to him on YouTube as well.
Get the hook.
Yeah, with the hook.
Then with the finger this time.
and remember to subscribe to his YouTube. It's YouTube Walz Guitar, right? Yeah, I'm remembering my links now. Yeah.
You typed them enough times.
Oh my God, you guys wouldn't even believe. I try to copy and paste when possible, but that doesn't always work. Especially when I'm using the pad mouse here, like without. Yeah. Anyway, you guys can find me on Patreon. Kyle was talking about, Rick Beato and his Patreon and all that. Dude, I ain't making that much. How many super chats have you guys seen? There wasn't any.
Right.
I really could appreciate even $1 a month. It'd make a big difference in trying to keep this thing going. Sign up for as well. Kilo Metro 1's Patreon, Kyle Walz Patreon. You can support all of us, because it's us little guys, man. We're the future, and all these big guys, man. We can just forget about them.
Yeah,
so make sure
support indie.
Check us all out on Patreon. And if you want music lessons, MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. You get to record the lessons and keep them on your device. So, like, seriously, let's say your device breaks and you have to get a new hard drive. You can just go to Zoom and download all your lessons from me again yourself. You don't even have to ask me. They're yours. Right? MatthewsMusicLessonStudio.com. And that's about it. I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you so much, Owen. Thank you, Kyle. And I'll see you guys next time on The Sound. Live.
The sound.
Yes. The Sound.
Yeah. Thanks, Mal, for the invitation.